Being without a cell phone can make you feel as if you have been cut off with your friends, family, and from other events happening around the world, but there are many pros to not having constant access to a cell phone, including having more time to focus on goals and activities you may enjoy and complete freedom from individuals who can contact you at a moment's notice. If you find yourself without phone or want to phase out of yourself, focus on productive things you can do with your time instead. Being without a cell phone, how can we give a better days? How? Right? It is difficult to not having a cell phone all day because every time you're just um, you want to watch movies, or maybe you want to know the time, your time, or maybe the plan, the meetings that you have, you need to open your phone. You need to get some um, informations, or maybe you want to gather data, right? Having a cell phone is very important, and having a cell phone is really useful. But how we can survive without a cell phone? As a student, based on my experience, as a 1 week without using a phone, I use my vacant time on reading, watching TV, and playing or having an activities to lead my boredom and not relying on my phone. I'm Gamarsa and I am marketing student. I have tips for you how we can survive without the phone. There's so many things you can do not relying on your phone. The things you might do is take an advance. Wrote your things you might want to do this day or the next day that might will happen, and you all going to take note the things you might to do next day, because having your list can less using a phone. Also, if you want to play an online games, why not play with your sisters, brothers, or even your friends or family? Why don't you try to go outside or having an activities to not relying on your phone instead? How can you less using a phone, right? If you're going to play with your phone all day, you're just wasting your time, right? Instead, you're going to go outside or watching your surroundings, what happened outside. It's better to be extroverts rather to be an introverts person. It's being a good interactions between face to face rather than using your mobile phones or Android phones, or maybe your smartphone. What kind of phone do you have, right? You can survive without having a phone, because based on my experience, I can survive without having a phone in just 1 week. Yes, I tried and I'm survived. And all you can see is there's so much thing to do rather than using your cell phone. And I am really, really happy to share my tips or anything that I do if I am bored and not relying on my cell phone. Also, to the travelers and workers like that, you can lease your phone or reduce using a phone through what? Like just what I said, you're going to take an advance. We just list down all things you might to do, and then you can not rely your phone. You cannot access on your phone because you all take down your important things to do, right? So after that, you can realize that you can survive without having a phone. You can survive without having a phone. Doing the things that are important, you may take an advance. And very, I'm very happy to tell this story. One student is always always um want to see the R's because she want to go out to school so early. You know that you can you can survive without having a phone, to watching the hour, to watch the time with you through the use of your watch. It's better to wear a watch rather to use a cell phone to check every time. Oh, what is time? What's You're just wasting your time. Yeah. And you need to practice yourself to reduce or less using a cell phone. And that's all. Thank you.